So, good. In a place like the World Wound, we need to all stick together, sacrificing something for a comrade. Like, that... the good answer is, you know, like, you get the sentiment behind that, but Abby's a commander now. She can't afford to kind of think about it in those terms, because she's got to make sure her army survives. And I kind of think that dealing with Regill is also a good way that if you're super RPing this, you could use this moment to kind of define who your commander is in a lot of ways. Are they going to go with like this good route with Regill? The lawful would be, I like your approach. It makes sense to make sure your own people have enough resources and then share what remains. Chaotic is sometimes you must act first and deal with consequences later. Sacrifice nothing and you will gain nothing. Or evil. Compassion is an amusement for the comfortable times of peace. It has no place in war. Or it seems you had little choice. So if you just didn't want to go with any of the alignments. But I do think that kind of depending on what you pick will depend on how you're seen as a commander, especially given like that you can pick up the Hell Knights in the end. But I kind of like I want to go with Chaotic.
Noble Ashes and his Sunrise Swords have already done so. And this is what it led to.
So, sometimes you must first act and deal with consequences later. Sacrifice nothing and you'll gain nothing. So, basically he's saying you sacrifice nothing and you'll gain nothing, and that's what happened to the Sunrise Sword.
That's right. The chief is responsible for his own tribe. If he decides that he's responsible for the whole world, his own people will come to ruin. And if he wishes that someone else was responsible for his people, that means he's not fit to be chief.
Actually, that is very true. Regill's harsh words cause a whisper among the knights in white and yellow. I saw you ordered your wounded to be finished off.
Indeed. The gargoyles were clearly trying to capture as many prisoners as they could. I don't know the reason behind these abductions, but I'm not about to give the enemy what they want. That is why all my people were ordered not to be taken alive. And as for the wounded, we didn't have time to get them to safety anyway.
Honestly, in some way, you could almost see him having the wounded put down as slightly compassionate in that, yeah, he's saying he didn't want to give the gargoyles or the enemy what they wanted, but at the same time, they are now not being tortured or anything like that by the gargoyles. You know what I mean? Like, if you had the choice between being gargoyle fodder or having somebody just kind of like put an end to it now kind of thing, I think Regill thought what he did or what he ordered was the nicer of the two options, given that there was no way to get everybody to safety in the end.
Can you hear yourself? For the sake of principle, in order not to give the enemy what they want, you killed your own wounded. Helpless subordinates. Why does anyone still follow you?
Because we are Hell Knights. We know our duty.
Then again, though, Seal is working off the premise, though, that there would have been a way to save everybody. The gargoyles were already attacking. Like, we saw them 2 minutes later, basically landing. So if Regill had it timed, he knew exactly how long they had. It was probably calculated on his part that they knew they weren't going to be able to save everybody. Now, the other side of it is, though, that Seela, because she has such a big heart, because she's so kind, because she cares, she will do anything to save everyone. But if she had tried to save everyone at that one moment, she might have gotten everybody killed, and then we wouldn't be here to have this conversation. It's really interesting when you bring certain companions to these kinds of moments, because then you definitely see how polar a lot of the different people are. But then again, they're all suffering the exact same problem, which is the world wound, and you get to see how they all kind of combine and mesh it together, which I really like.
Only someone who's never been responsible for the lives of others could feel any outrage at this decision. The wounded couldn't be saved. What good would it do to anyone if the rest perished along with them?
I think that's kind of exactly what we were mentioning too.
What charming people. Those fellows in black make Holrun look like a sweet old soul by comparison.
We need to get rid of the gargoyles, then we'll talk.
Agreed. Be ready, Commander. This attack may be worse than the last one.
Now he's just teasing us with a good time. Okay, so I know we weren't really auto-battling it out. Not auto-battling. You can tell I've been playing games with auto-battle. We weren't doing this, but we can't save. That's fine. We're just gonna go for it now. Hey there are so many people fighting. And B, I'm just gonna let this happen. Let this happen. Mainly because we'd be here forever. 100% we would be here forever. Who are you? Where are my people? Ember. So I'd rather do it this way. Ember here. Lan.
You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Okay. Wait. I was about to say heal your girlfriend because I'm so used to Abby dating Darren. Okay.
Flesh wound.
Girl. Take a healing potion. Can you do it? Do that. 2. Darren! Darren, where are you? How did Darren get put in the middle of this? Okay. You got the big one. Okay, they're down. That's fine. I think it's only the 2 left.
I'm sorry, I have to do this.
Happen is inglorious.
Okay. Okay. We're good. So, like I said, it's kind of messy, but you saw how many dudes we had to fight. There was like no good way around that, so I'm fine with potentially losing some people, but nobody was dead. Where's Regill? Regill gracefully stores his weapon and places his hands behind his back. You two, check the area. Mark any potential shelters that offer protection against the aerial attacks. Quartermaster, inventory the remnants of the camp. I want to make sure that the gargoyles only abducted people and weren't interested in anything else. Send messengers immediately to our scout squads and order them to return to camp. I need a full list of casualties, the sooner the better. He turns to you and nods slightly. Commander, your arrival was well timed. Now we can finally talk. I'm quite interested in the events that occurred at Grey Garrison, and I suppose you have questions for me. What do you want to know? Any shift in balance of power during this war has a direct impact on my mission. If a new player appears who is capable of fighting demons effectively, I'm ready to support that person with all the resources I have at my disposal. Regill speaks pensively as if talking to himself, but naturally, I cannot blindly trust a stranger, even one marked by the gods. The gods blessed me with an incredible gift. Queen Galfrey put me at the helm of a crusade, but that's not enough for you. You have every right to doubt. I don't usually trust strangers either. So we understand each other. Thank you, Commander. Regill nods more to himself than to you. Is there anything else you wish to know? What does Paralictor mean? I am the commander of this unit, and in the Order's hierarchy, I am 2 steps lower than its leader. In the territory of Mendev and the Worldwound, there are a few who equal my rank, but I am the most senior Hell Knight officer for many leagues around. First a queen, now this Paralictor. There's a whole lot of foreign taskmasters in our lands these days. Wherever you go in Sarkorian, there's always someone dishing out orders. Judging by your tattoos, you are one of the few Sarkorians who survived. If these are your lands, what's stopping you from taking charge yourself? Perhaps it's high time you woke from your dreams of a beautiful green Sarkorian and admitted that these lands haven't been yours for 100 years now. Oh, you just... Okay. I mean, honestly, he doesn't know Ulbrig's story, and that Ulbrig like literally just woke up a couple weeks ago kind of thing, so it's not fair. But at the same time, if Ulbrig had been awake like this whole time, then yeah, that definitely 100% would have been fair. Anybody else ever get sad when the coffee's gone? Like you just sit there and you look at it and you're like, but it's all gone. That's literally me right now. But what are the Hell Knights doing here on the border of the Worldwound? The same as you and your army, fighting a war against the demons. The Hell Knights have always been a part of the Crusades from the very beginning. We don't answer to Galfrey, and we act on our own authority. We serve a common cause. Daskari's spawns have no place in the world we want to build. Regill barks out final words. Funny, isn't it? Knights clad in black armor have been fighting this war from the off, but most people don't even know it. The face of the Crusades is a Mendevian paladin with the sword of Iomedae gleaming on their gilded armor. In that respect, my cousin Galfrey has a real flair for propaganda, I must say. Isn't that interesting? That's actually very interesting, and a good observation on Darren's part, that the Hell Knights have always been part of the Crusades. They've always been fighting this war. They fight it differently. more regimented. They fight it with more order and stuff like that, but they're still fighting it. And you can make a case that they are more of a grunt soldier than anything else because they are all out there on the ground fighting constantly. They want this over. And most people don't know it. Most people think it's just Mendev. Most people just think it's a paladin of Iomade fighting or people like that. And so it kind of pulls away from the others. And then so if you take that, right? If you take that and you really look at it, then you have to ask yourself, if Gallifrey really does have that, what did Darren say, flair for propaganda, why did she make you commander? You don't fit the way that she's run this the whole time. You're kind of like the Hell Knights in a lot of ways, like you as the commander. You're an unknown entity. You are somebody that's taking away from the usual status quo for her. So why did she put you in charge of this? For the Hell Knights, the Whirlwind is just one of several targets. They expend great efforts on book burning and suppressing slave uprisings. Yes, their orders sent reinforcements here, but Mendev has always borne the brunt of this war. What are you going to do now that the gargoyle attacks are over? I will wait for my remaining fighters to return. What you see here is only a small part of my forces. As for my long-term plans, that depends on the results of our conversation, Commander. Before we move on to serious subjects, I'd like to address an organizational issue regarding my unit. You may wish to be present. By the way, so what Seal has said, though, it's interesting that he didn't have a comeback on that, right? He had a comeback on what Ulbrich said, stuff like that, but nothing to this, nothing to say Seal was right or wrong. And because I personally, as far as the Pathfinder lore goes, don't know a ton about the Hell Knights themselves, I do think that that's really interesting. So, you know, Darren's like, oh, Gallifrey got a flair for the propaganda. And Seal is like, don't forget, they also do all this other stuff that isn't great. And it's like, so who are the Hell Knights really? What, are there just different kinds of Hell Knights, different sects of Hell Knights, and some are just world wound focused, others aren't? Has Regill participated in suppressing slave uprisings and book burnings? Has he not? Do they just consider it following orders even when morally it's not the right thing to do? And it's kind of an interesting thing that I do like, that you can question, you can ponder, and you can side with really anybody or nobody or everybody all at once. Yacker steps forward and salutes with a clenched fist to his heart. Paralictor, permission to report. During the first gargoyle attack, I determined it necessary to leave my post. I swam over the river, found the commander's army, and asked them to provide assistance. Regill nods. The reinforcements were much needed. You will earn a double salary for your resourcefulness, Yacker, and 100 lashes for abandoning your post. The young knight grows a little pale, but immediately salutes. Yes, Paralictor. Honestly, like, I think I talked about this the first time. I do like just the fact that Regill is praising him and happy for what he did, but he also broke rules, and you can't do that in the Hell Knights. So there's a reward and a punishment. And I'm guessing this punishment, while awful, could have been worse, depending on who was in charge. I wonder if it's foolish or overly harsh to punish Yacker for leaving his post. No, we're gonna say nothing. Regill, who has watched you closely throughout the entire conversation, nods to himself. Like, that wasn't... We're not Hell Knights. We don't have the right to say something. Personally, I don't think. Abby's gonna run her army the way that she wants, and Regill is more than welcome to run his side of things the way that he wants, and she's not gonna intervene. It's not her business. Regill, who watched you closely... Okay, now for a more delicate issue. You, Commander, were interested in our dispute with the Hell Knight Order of Sunrise, or correct? Their forces in Canabra suffered great losses in the demon attack. Now their leader has perished and his troops are in trouble. They're reeling with no command structure. Their order will hardly be able to recover from the losses they've suffered. What are you getting at? And these fighters aren't the finest material I've worked with. But if I assume formal command over them, I'll be able to reforge them into weapons and reasonable quality. One or two might even become true Hell Knights. The rest will be put to good use as well. What does this have to do with me? A spark flashes in Regill's pale yellow eyes. I suppose, Commander, that for leagues around, from Canabras to Dresden and from Dresden to the cursed city of Iz, at the heart of the world wound, all of this pertains to you in one way or another. You are the catalyst that shifted an age-old balance of power, whether you meant it or not. Your own future and much more depends on the decisions you make here and now. even the ones that seem insignificant. So I like the chaotic answer. The good answer is you've already shown that you can easily sacrifice people, let them join my army. Lawful, I support you. However, I like the chaotic one. No one but them has the right to decide their fate. Talk to them directly and get your answer. Regill looks at the warriors in white and yellow, shifting cheerlessly from one foot to the other. Initiates of the Sunrise Sword. Your leader is dead. The order has suffered serious losses and will not be able to recover. You may return to Mendev to join another crusade order and hope they don't meet the same fate as the Sunrise Sword. Or you may remain under my command. I will not promise that it'll be easy or that our war making will be constricted by your principles. What I can promise is this. Under my command, you will never again feel like helpless mice in the talons of ravenous raptor. Does that mean we've worked off the precious resources you spent on us? The water, medicine, and bandages? Yells one of the knights. I wouldn't make such an offer if I thought you were useless garbage. The initiates of the Sunrise Sword consult with each other for a time. One of them, a young woman in a knight's armor, steps forward. Thank you for your trust, Paralictor. We will stay and are ready to obey your orders. Fine. In due course, I'll review your troops and make any necessary decisions regarding your role in my unit. And now, Commander, for the most important issue, cooperation between our forces. We do have a common enemy and a common battlefield. I like the perception here. It says, you're looking at me strangely, Paralictor. When we discussed Yakker's punishment and when we were deciding the fate of the Sunrise Sword, it was as if you were testing me. Regill lowers his head in a gesture that might be read as respectful. I do not believe I made any attempt to conceal my interest in you, both as a new, strong leader in the region and as the bearer of a highly unusual power. Of course I'd like to know what's inside your head. One could say it's my duty. So I do like it that you can call him out on this, like, you were evaluating me. I know that you were evaluating me. This is who I am. Take it or leave it kind of thing, and I love that perception check. My army and I are going to Dresden and free the city from demons. You can join forces with us. He rubs his chin pensively. Dresden, an ambitious goal, but most reasonable. Imagine how such a victory would rally all the separate bands of today's crusaders under one banner. We certainly need a base of operations inside the World Wound. I stand ready to support you. Moreover, I can accompany you in your campaign. However, I would remind you that Hell Knights are outside of Mendev's jurisdiction. My unit and I will join forces and obey your order, but only for as long as I deem our goals coincide. I like his eyes. They're still bright. Neither the darkness nor the paleness has taken them. For now. Hell no, we don't need the likes of these black armored statues. I don't want to fight side by side with someone who will slit my throat if I'm weak and wounded. You can't defeat one evil by inviting an equal but slightly more organized evil into your ranks. Slightly more organized than the demons? I could consider that an insult. I've never dealt with the Hell Knights before, but from what we've seen, they're serious fighters. That's just what we need, and just think of how that armor will look in paintings. They'll make about all our battles. It's a deal. Yes, Commander, my forces and Regill are at your disposal. So, we shall leave it as is for now. We have, in fact, joined forces with the Hell Knights. I was always going to join forces with the Hell Knights. I'm very happy that we get to join forces with the Hell Knights because this definitely makes for a interesting story. Okay.
Adventures can wait.
Are we all tie-tie? Okay. Well, let's get out here. I don't know if we should rest. Can you rest here? Are we going to be, like, attacked? Let's see. Let's rest out here. And then we can leave the area after. Let's do... Right. So. No camouflage for Sela. And then I'm going to put... let's see. Let's put her with Ulbrig, because Ulbrig isn't, like, full. Like, he's not as much as, So tell me about your homeland, Ulbrig. What was Sarkorian like? Beautiful, I bet. So it's stunning. Forests and fields and rivers and everything in bloom. When we win, you'll see for yourself. We were Ow, why do we keep getting attacked?
Let's have some fun.
Okay. Oh no. Oh no. How? I put Abby Abby, are you failing us, Abby?
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Okay, good. Let's do this. Ooh, Ember. Well done. Darren, can you just... We're just gonna...
Precision and grace.
Okay, good. Good. Glad that happened. That was a joke. I'm not glad. Okay, you, Ulbrig.
They don't know how fragile they are.
Okay. Nope. Oh no, there's a giant spider too. Okay, Abby. This first, because this is almost dead. Okay. Lan.
You won't survive me.
This? Ooh. Good. Okay. No! Sela! Bad Sela. Why? Okay, that. Yes! Okay, Darren. Heal Abby. Alright, this succubus is gonna come in. No, please don't hit him. Kian, can you? No. Yes! Kian didn't miss. Albrecht, finish her.
Will be the stuff
No.
of legend.
Okay, well, you didn't finish her, but you kind of came close. Abs. Listen, you're about to go nanites and get your spells redone, so maybe this? Here. Yes! No! Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, Lan. Finish this.
Endure this.
You missed. Okay. When does Sela stop hating me? Okay. No, this guy. I don't want Sela in that, but it might happen. Okay. Darren, just hit
I'll make short work of this.
him. Please. No. Okay. Kian? Help mommy. Good. Good little dragon. Albrecht, finish
Better
him.
Start running.
Okay. Oh no. Wait. Hold on. For 30 domination for 31 more seconds? Oh no. Okay. Is that... What? The person who was controlling Sela is dead. So, like... Okay, we're good now. I guess we had to take it off a turn-based. Okay, back to bed with all of you. Sincerely. Back to bed. Okay. That was my fault. So apparently we just suck at camouflage. We're gonna have to up somebody's... I don't know who is supposed to be good at that. Okay, but now we can leave the area. Good. And now we've got Regill. Is it a good idea to go back to camp? I know we had other plans. Like, I do. Like, we were gonna go to the primitive altar. The Nameless Ruins, I do know, stay on the map forever. So... Oh, yes, we did that. Oh my goodness. Did you see that, y'all? We did it. Made it look easy. Except we'll rest. World Wound is an abomination, but still. It's giving birth to new things. Plants, creatures, natural phenomena, life, unfettered, strange, incomprehensible to us, but utterly unique life, alien to both Glorian and the Abyss. I find the notion fascinating. It is actually, when you put it that way. It is very fascinating. Of course, we're out here, Abby. And you're like, we're great. Why can't you be better at camouflage? So, do we do this? Let's go to camp. Make sure there's nothing else that we need to do. We can check in with people and then make a decision on whether or not we would like to do, you know, the whole... Wait. Oh! Hello! How are we? Then we can decide what to do next. But anything from land? You said you were prepared to risk your life to do something meaningful. What did you mean? To invent a new salad and have it named after me, Lan remarks grimly, then he sighs. Truth be told, I don't know. It'd be much easier if all I really wanted was to kill demons and then a few more demons and then more demons after that. Good, honest rage and no needless brooding. I think I actually envy the warriors who can live like that. But I can't. If life's taught me anything, it's that there's no easy choices. Dying a glorious death isn't enough. Some heroes of the Crusade did that and also saved entire settlements, erected the ward stones. Their actions kept the land of Mendev safe for decades. That's what I want, for my dumb short life to have meant something. I think I have an exaggerated opinion of myself. Some scaly freak crawls out of the caves and wants to take control of the ward stones and flaunt Iomede's banner. Any fool can charge at the front lines of the demonic armies and die there, but what good will that do? I want something meaningful, you know? Even if I have to pay the highest price, especially if I have to pay it. There are plenty of worthier people who need to survive this war. Tell everyone else what nutcases we were. I get that, though. Wanting this all to mean something. Like, Lan is very, very relatable in that regard. Anything else? Nope. Making sure Grandma doesn't have anything to say. Sela, anything? The fate of the League of the Card affected you greatly. You could say, I did what I thought was right. I tried to help a good person with their troubles, and what came of it? I'm sorry, but I won't find peace until I track down Krill and Yana. What were they thinking? Is there any way to get through to them, or should I admit I was terribly wrong? There's another thing that's worrying me, the way people react to your power, and mine. They think that if we've been chosen by Iomade, they need to pray at our feet. I'm not comfortable with the younger warriors hanging on my every word. I feel alone. Nobody else is going to sit with me and celebrate saving a beer cart. And I'd like to regain, if not the friendship, at least the trust of the other knights, especially those I respected and considered my friends, like Aelon. That's rough. Especially, like, Cassila, one of the things that she enjoyed at the beginning was the fact that she was just like everybody else. And she's not like everybody else anymore. She can't fade away or just be one of the knights. She's now part of all this. So Sociel is here sometimes. Interesting.